Yo, yo, yo. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Watch Stuff with us. I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
And we are going to be breaking down a season 5 recap of The Handmaid's Tale. So, if you are new to this channel, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time we go live
in 2025.
So, let's get this recap going. So yeah, before we jump in, we are huge fans of The Handmaid's Tale. And we are going to use a video recap done by TV Recaps in order to sort of give us a jumping off point to discuss this past season as we get prepared for season 6 that is coming out.
I have been so patient.
Yeah, I know.
So patient.
Yeah, and we're going to have a live stream tonight. Make sure you tune into the end of the video and then you can get all the details on that. So yeah, let's get this recap going.
Welcome to TV Recaps. Today I will be recapping an American dystopian drama. In a world facing a repopulation crisis, a patriarchal, totalitarian theocracy known as the Republic of Gilead has overthrown the United States government. Before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe.
Yeah, you can like
For
that channel
recaps
too.
of seasons 1 to 4, refer to link in description. Oh, and of course, spoilers ahead.
So yeah, we're just going to consider you guys have already caught up on seasons 1 through 4. If you need to go back and check out our channel, we have recaps for all the previous seasons as well. So you can go and check those out. But we're just going to act like you guys have already caught up.
The show begins with June Osborne returning home to her daughter, Nicole, her husband, Luke, and her best friend, Moira, covered in blood. She confesses to killing Fred, her ex.
She was like super manic then.
Mm-hmm.
She's almost
mental.
like possessed at that point in time. And I know we're going to talk about June and everybody else as we get into the series, but I kind of did not like the arc that June took as the last season unfolded. I felt that she sort of did a lot of things that were very selfish, and I feel like she lost a part of the humanity and the good that she had in herself at the very beginning of the show. And I mean, you can go on and say that that show will take it out of you, or the Living in Gilead will take it out of you. But I feel like she struggled a lot to just be a regular person. I think that there was that time where she's been a superhero for so long that when she had the opportunity to just be a regular person,
she didn't know what to do.
Did not know what to do.
She didn't cope well with being back at all.
Yeah, no. And I think that it makes sense.
Nor did she want to even be back.
True. It makes sense. But I didn't like that for her character. I wanted her to be a little bit more adjusted, I would say, and not so much dying to get back to
You wanted her to be more like all the
reason.
others that had come back as well, and how they had adjusted.
And I mean, and you can do a lot of good being back, away from Gilead. I felt like she could have done a lot of good things that way, but I felt that it was very selfish of her to eventually return back to Gilead. We'll get into all that.
She has so much hate in her, and that's what I think fuels everything. All the choices she's making is just hatred,
and that is not the best way to go about things.
No.
Is to let the hate run through you, as they say.
That's rough.
Commander. June finds out Emily, a fellow ex-handmaid, after taking part in Fred's brutal murder, has gone back to Gilead to continue fighting and left her family behind. She has a breakdown and, despite Luke's protests, turns herself in. However, as the murder took place in no man's land, and not under Canada's jurisdiction, June gets away scot-free. Serena, Fred's wife, is informed by Mark, representative of the American government.
Oh, I forgot about the Serena and Mark sort of odd relationship.
Stupid.
Yeah, man.
It's pretty stupid.
Yeah, Serena was I like Serena as a character on a show. As a actual human being and a person that I would have to interact with, she would be the worst. But I feel like her and June are almost neck and neck at this point.
Yeah, they're both
At least in my
terrible.
opinion. At least in my opinion. Maybe you feel different. If you feel different, let me know why.
And excuse me, Mark is an idiot.
Oh my God.
He is so dumb.
He was so...
To even be manipulated by her and have interest in her after knowing everything that she's done, and him being against everything that she's done, and still have the hots for her. He's stupid.
That was
he not smart guy.
That was desperate. Real thirsty,
Yeah.
Mark.
in exile of Fred's demise and that charges will not be filed against June. She is both angry and terrified. After viewing Fred's body at the morgue, Serena walks through a candlelit vigil held in his memory by Canadian Gilead supporters. She returns to Gilead
sheep.
for Fred.
Yep, and that was where her power was born. I remember that episode and her walking down that aisle and like the little smirk sort of at the end, like all these people are worshiping her at this point. Yeah,
There's so many dumb people out there.
Yeah, just willing and wanting a savior so bad, so bad.
Fred's funeral and pressures Commander Joseph to make it an international event.
Joseph.
Fred is given a grand funeral.
Now, Joseph's one of my favorite characters.
I love him.
I know. Even though he is not a good person at all. Still not a good person.
He's not, but he's better than some.
Yeah, I feel like this show is filled with a lot of not good people. And Joseph made a huge mistake in everything that he did to sort of plan and design Gilead. So he doesn't get forgiven for that. But I feel like as a human and being a compassionate person, I feel like he was able to at least show some of that as his life has grown on.
Funeral that is broadcasted worldwide. Luke and June witness the entire event and are shocked to see their daughter, Hannah, presenting Serena with flowers during the funeral. Meanwhile, Esther, a former wife turned handmaid, is being considered for a posting to the Putnam household. Commander Warren takes a liking to
Esther and Warren.
I hate Esther.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Esther.
I despise Esther.
Warren is horrible too. Like, who are the good characters on this show? I don't know. Maybe we did that in the past. We did a video back, I think it was before season 2, where we talked about like who are the good characters that you like and who are the bad characters that you like. And as the show has went on, it's harder and harder to identify like actual good, positive characters in the show.
Esther and spends some private time with her in his room. She steals some chocolates from Warren and shares them with Janine, who has been acting as her mentor in the Red Center. Unbeknownst to her,
I love Janine. There's a good one.
She is so good-hearted, but unfortunately, she cares about people that shouldn't be cared about.
Yeah.
Esther has poisoned the chocolates in an attempt to kill both Janine and herself.
Hence this.
She professes her hatred for Janine for manipulating her before they both cough up blood and collapse. A distraught Aunt Lydia prays for Janine's recovery. Sometimes
Aunt Lydia. Is there any forgiveness in your heart for Aunt Lydia?
No, and the fact that she has that soft spot for Janine after she's the one that carved her eye out is twisted.
Yeah.
I was really hopeful when she went down the stairs that she wasn't going to get back up, but
there she is.
No, I don't like her.
Janine comes out of her coma and, with physical therapy, is slowly able to walk again. On the way back to the Red Center, Aunt Lydia promises Janine that she will show more compassion to handmaids under her care from now on. Despite her wishes to remain in Gilead, Serena is ordered by the council to serve as a diplomat in Toronto to paint a positive image of Gilead to the international.
So the council knew what her power play was right here, and they saw right through it, as you figured they would.
Yeah.
Community. Serena reluctantly returns to Canada. She is released from the custody of the American government and commences her efforts to build a Gilead Cultural Center. Later, June arrives at the center amidst an argument between Gilead supporters and protesters, Moira being one of them. A Gilead supporter...
I think Moira is a good person.
I like Moira.
Yep, she's another good person.
June just always wants to fight somebody.
Yeah, June is just filled with anger, filled with rage. Yeah, and I mean, like I said before, you can't blame her.
No,
but you're in a different world.
Got a lot of trauma.
Yeah, you're in a different world now, and you gotta adjust to where you're at, not where you've been.
Yeah.
Punches Moira in the face, and in response, June pulls a gun on him and fires a shot into the air. This causes mass panic, prompting her as Serena's bodyguard to evacuate her from the building. While escaping, however, Serena runs into June. She has the perfect opportunity to shoot Serena but hesitates when she sees her baby bump and runs away instead. Urza drives Serena to the Wheeler house.
Should she have shot her?
Yep. You have your chance. Just do it. That's all you've been wanting to do. You already had Fred, so
you had an opportunity. You should
like
had a shot. You should have took it.
I feel like she'd be sleeping better if she had just shot Serena.
I don't know if there's any happiness for June at this point. I think that's what this season is gonna discuss, is that, or I should say the next season, is in season 6, is gonna discuss and break down if, how are these people going to end this story? Where are we going to finish with them?
There's only one person that brings her happiness.
Who's that?
You'll see. They'll probably talk about him shortly.
Household to seek refuge from violent protesters. She gets to know her new Canadian hosts, Alanis and Ryan Wheeler, who are overly invested in her pregnancy.
Oh yeah,
To
they're
protect her
cute.
baby,
So
Serena is confined to the house and not allowed any form of external contact.
Treat her like a
She
handmaid.
breaks down in tears. Sometime later, June finds out from Nick, Nicole's father, and
There he is. What? June and Nick are cute.
No. If they wanted to have been together, they should have done everything that they could to be together, instead of doing the whole, oh, I still love you, but I'm going to stay away from you, and we're not destined to be together, but we still love each other.
He's trying to keep her safe.
Nah, man. Nah. I'm still waiting for Nick to turn out to be like the ultimate double agent.
You think he's gonna turn evil, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen at this point. I thought so going into season 5 that he was gonna turn, but he hasn't yet, and I don't think they're gonna.
No,
turn him
he's
at the
just
end.
trying to like use his position to do what he can to not make it as awful as it is there.
Yeah. I do think that Nick is realizing how powerful he is, though, and I think that may start to corrupt him a little bit too. So we might not get the full on like bad negative turn, the bad negative Nick, but I think we're gonna get a little bit of that.
And then he's got that wife.
Oh man, yeah.
Gilead commander
like
that
12.
Hannah is currently attending a wife school for wives in training. June and Luke embark on a dangerous quest into no man's land to meet a friendly guardian who has more information on Hannah. After getting
That was
the
an interesting
information from
episode.
him, Luke and June spend the day hiding in an abandoned bowling alley. Once night arrives, the guardian brings them back to Canada via a shortcut. Unfortunately, he steps on a landmine and triggers an explosion which alerts other guardians to their location. Luke
Yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna go well. I knew when they were walking.
I was nervous
by.
about him if he could even be trusted.
Right,
And
and he turned out he could.
then he got blown up.
Then he got kablooied.
and June make a run for the border but are caught before they could make it. The guardians
Oh, let me ask one more question to everybody watching. Are you team Luke or team Nick? I've always been team Luke. I feel like Luke has dealt with so much BS throughout this entire series that he's a good man for standing by June and everything that she's done. And especially including returning to Gilead like after getting away. Like that's a heck of a man to be able to do that. So that's why I've always been on team Nick. Or I'm sorry. Team Luke. Team Luke.
Coming to my side. No, I am team Nick only because she and him share like all the inside trauma that Luke knows nothing about. So it's almost like June has those two lives. She has like, the two men in her life, the one that was from before and brought her all that comfort in years prior to Gilead. And then she has Nick, who helped her when she arrived in Gilead. And, it's two totally different lives. So I understand why it's two totally different relationships. But I think she's trauma bound to Nick, and that brings her more comfort because I don't feel that she thinks Luke understands.
Yeah.
They're acting on orders from Commander Ryan, who informs Serena that June has been captured. Serena pleads to be able to witness her execution to get closure for Fred's death. Back in Gilead, Warren and Joseph discuss the future of the country. Joseph wants to build a modern, liberal settlement on an island called New Bethlehem, where Gilead refugees are granted amnesty and reunited with their loved ones as a way of improving diplomatic relations with the rest of the world. Warren is strongly opposed to the plan and ridicules his efforts to get it approved. Later, Lydia is shocked to learn that Esther is pregnant. She finds out Esther was violated by Warren during their private session, one day prior to her posting to the Putnams. After Lydia reports the incident to Joseph, Warren is arrested and publicly executed by Nick in front of his wife, Naomi.
Now I remember that one, man. That surprised me too, that they went to that length with him. And I mean, I get it, but I didn't think that they would like sacrifice one of their own, so to speak, but they certainly did.
I didn't like
Next
him.
morning, Luke is dropped off near the border, while June is taken to meet Ezra and Serena. June is shocked to see her. Serena requests to execute June herself and asks Ezra for the gun. However, instead of killing her, Serena shoots Ezra and orders June at gunpoint to drive through no man's land. Mid-drive, Serena goes into labor and starts experiencing contractions.
So
Unfortunately, they crashed the car and had to seek refuge in an abandoned barn, where Serena's contractions intensify.
And they semi-bonded.
Despite June's animosity towards her, she could not leave a pregnant woman to die and stays to help Serena deliver her baby.
See, this is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand about June. This is this person who you have so much hatred for, but yet you still found a way on 2 different occasions to not get rid of her when you could have.
Mm-hmm. Like, they both hate each other, but they also help each other at different times.
Right. It's a twisted relationship.
It's very messed up.
Serena begins to develop a fever and June insists that she goes to a hospital in Canada. She refuses, claiming that she has served her purpose as a vessel to deliver Noah to a mother who deserves him, such as June. In a calm and unyielding manner, she responds,
"You love him, and you wanted him so much. You're his mother, and he belongs with you. Do you understand me?"
They arrive at a hospital where both Serena and Noah receive medical attention. June calls Moira, who sends Luke to pick her up. On their way out, immigration officers, called by Luke, arrest Serena for entering the country illegally.
Don't blame Luke one bit for doing that. I don't blame him one bit. I would have done the same thing. Like it, and this is, you have to continue to see things through his point of view. Like he's lost his wife, he's got her back, he's lost her again. And then you're finally presented with her return along with the woman who has pretty much tortured her for multiple years of her life and has turned her into a shell of the woman that she used to be. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you think that he's just going to stick by and just let her do her thing? No, I would have done the same thing. That's why I'm on Team Luke. No. Yeah. Team Luke.
L for like, loss.
Do an N. You can't do an N.
And
sign language. Cheater.
Legally, and tell her that Noah will be placed with the Child Protection Unit. Serena cries hysterically and begs June for help. Anti-refugee sentiment escalates in Canada, and June's family faces frequent harassment from protesters. With Warren dead, Joseph's plan for New Bethlehem proceeds smoothly. He invites June to move to New Bethlehem with the promise that Hannah will be moved there once she is married. Although June is seriously considering Joseph's offer, Luke vehemently rejects it. Mark tries to dissuade June from returning to...
Which was a little weird for me when he rejected it. You would think that he would have, knowing that he's lost June so many times, unless he just like kind of slightly started to give up on her, that he would have been like, okay, this is finally an opportunity for June to stay with me and then for Hannah to be delivered to us at some point in the relatively near future.
In my opinion, they need to give up on Hannah. She's
yeah,
gone.
That's rough.
She has no connection to them. She doesn't really know them at all anymore. There's not enough therapy in the world that's going to mend that relationship between them and her. So
yeah, I think that it would have been smarter if they would have allowed her to come there and maybe at some point they could build a relationship, you know, and even though she would have been like with a different family, they would have been closer to her. They could have like slowly like, you know, got things going and maybe mended the relationship. But the route that they want to go and to just like hijack her and take her and then just bring her to wherever they're at.
She's not going to want any part of that because that scares her.
Yeah. Yeah. And
she was too young when she went into Gilead.
Right.
She doesn't know any better now.
Right.
To Gilead, as she is a symbol to the resistance and is worried others will follow her back. A mysterious envelope arrives with a video of Hannah in a wife's school. Mark uses the video to track her location and informs June that they will be conducting a military raid to rescue her daughter. June is overjoyed. Unfortunately, Gilead anticipated the attack and shot down all 3 planes with their anti-aircraft systems. Joseph
Unsurprisingly,
June, claiming the attack was in self-defense and asks again that she joins New Bethlehem. Furious, she turns down Joseph's offer and reveals that she watched his late wife overdose from sleeping pills and did nothing to stop it. To obtain more reliable...
I get her going there and saying that, but
I mean, his wife, though, she didn't want any part of what was going on. She hated him for what he did, so
true.
she kind of
But I
wanted to
mean,
be
like,
done.
I don't know. I don't know if that was
It's a
her spot to
pickle.
do that. I don't know if it was her spot to do that. That's one thing that I love about this show. It poses so many questions and dilemmas on what you would do and what the characters did in the show. Do you agree with it? Like, there's so many times where I'm like, yeah, I could agree with June doing that. Other times I'm like, no, there's no way I would have done that. So
In each character, you bounce back and forth with their decisions.
Yep.
Intel. June meets with Nick to convince him to defect from Gilead in return for immunity in Canada. Despite his love for June, Nick declines the offer because Rose, his wife in Gilead, is pregnant. June is happy
Freaking
for him, but
Rose.
is also sad to lose him. Meanwhile, Serena is in immigration detention where she pumps breast milk for the Wheelers, who are now Noah's legal foster family. Joseph tells Serena he can get her out, but only on the condition that she stays with the Wheelers. Serena is released into their custody. Alanis admonishes Serena for being a bad mother and only allows her to feed the baby, while she takes over all other duties of motherhood. One night, Serena requests to make an appearance with Noah at the reopening of the Gilead Cultural Center to recruit more Canadians to join Gilead. Ryan agrees to her request, much to Alanis' outrage. At the center, Serena excuses herself to feed Noah in private and takes the opportunity to escape via the back exit.
And you could see that coming a mile away.
Yeah.
Like, there was no way she was gonna just stay
Wait a
there
minute.
for
So
that.
she doesn't like having her kid taken from her?
Oh, shocking.
Back in Gilead, Joseph, to increase his position of power, asks Naomi to be his new wife. She is initially hesitant to marry her late husband's killer, but decides to accept Joseph's
So
proposal
twisted.
to maintain her status in Gilead. Commander Mackenzie, Hannah's adoptive father, brings up June to Joseph and states that it is time to fix that problem. One morning, while June is walking on the road, a truck with a Gilead bumper sticker knocks her down and runs over her arm. Before the driver could kill her, Luke intervenes and beats him half to death. June is rushed to the hospital. Nick finds out about the attack and finally accepts Mark's offer to spy for them in order to protect June. Blaming Joseph for the attack, Nick punches him at his wedding and is immediately arrested. Rose visits him in
Which was too much, man. That was too much. Like, I guess that's showing that his true love is there and that he really does care, but
Then you got this Rose chick.
yeah, I
jail
know.
and is disappointed that he is still in love with June. After expressing that she is done with him, Rose leaves. Meanwhile, Janine, long
Rose
overdue
leaves.
for her posting, is assigned to Joseph and Naomi. Delighted at the chance to spend more time with her daughter, Janine tries to get along with Naomi. However, after hearing from Martha that June was injured by a targeted attack, she loses her temper and lashes out at Naomi. As a result, Janine is removed from her posting and arrested by the eyes. Back in Canada, the driver
Janine is the one person in this entire show that I pull for the most. Like, I want to see this show do right by her. Like, she has been put through so much, and I felt like she was such a good person, and she has been, like, ruined by this experience, and I want them to do right by her. So, producers, writers, do right by Janine, or else we'll abduct you and put you in Gilead.
driver who attacked June has died from his injuries. Rita informs Luke that the police will issue a warrant for his arrest very soon. June, Luke, and their daughter Nicole book air tickets to leave the country immediately. Mark arrives to inform them that the police will be waiting for them at the airport and offers them new travel documents for a train bound for Vancouver. At the train station, the police are seen patrolling the boarding area looking for Luke.
June, you gotta get on the train.
I don't want to do it alone anymore.
June, we're gonna find each other.
Now you don't want to do it alone anymore. When you have 40 other chances to do it as a family, you chose this path that you're on now, and now you got second thoughts. Come on, June. Come on, June.
I love you, June Osborne.
Luke draws the attention of the police and gets arrested. June boards the train with Nicole, devastated that she had to leave Luke
Remember
behind.
this ending?
Yes.
June hears cries from another baby and makes eye contact with Serena and Noah, who, by pure coincidence, have landed on the same train heading west. The end. Please stay tuned
Such
for
a
the
weird
next
ending. Ooh, those pictures are creepy.
Yeah, they are. So yeah, it was a definite weird ending. I wasn't expecting her to show up on the train. I didn't know where they were going with it, but I definitely wasn't expecting that. I thought season 5 was a good season. I didn't think it was a great season. I thought season 1 and season 2 were great seasons. I thought season 3 was pretty good. Season 4 was pretty great. And then season 5 was just good. So I'm really, really, really hoping that they end this on a high note. They have to. They gotta, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they need to, they have so many things that they need to resolve, and they need to end this on a high note.
I agree.
I'm hoping so. What do you think? How do you think it's gonna end? What's gonna happen? Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, hit that notification bell so that you're notified each and every time we go live.
In 2025.
Which will start on Tuesday. Is it the 8th? I don't know what the date is. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the date. Oh man.
Tuesday is the 8th.
Yes, Tuesday the 8th. We will be live for a watch party at 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you have not watched the episode, or if you have watched the episode and you want to come and see us react to it, come and hang out with us and watch us watch the show.
We cannot play the sound for it. We cannot play the video for it.
But you can hang out with us. We do it for a lot of other shows, and we get a really good turnout of people who like to come and hang out. You can watch it on your own
screen and
have us up in the background.
Press play, and talk about it with us. So.
Yeah. So yeah, we really appreciate you for checking this out. Please, like we said before, hit all the buttons, and we will see you next Tuesday. We better see you next Tuesday.
Be there. Or be square.
Be there or get sent to Gilead. I'm serious. I'll figure out where you live. I'll call Joseph.
Of Joseph.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Under his eye.
Peace.